Man is under arrest for allegedly killing his 15-year-old girlfriend.
In court today, we learned the alleged gunman threatened her life 2 days before her death.
Justice needs to be served. It needs to be served.
Middle schoolers dream of graduating 8th grade to enter high school. So many thoughts, plans, and experiences to think of. High school is when most make the decision of who they will be and entering in your next chapter of life. Well, that was Ahliana's plan. She had just turned 15 on April 18th, and she was excited to graduate 8th grade with her peers and friends, but she never got to see that day. Ahliana had a bright spirit about her. She was a positive and inspirational young woman. She was also artistic, as she loved to draw, but her favorite thing to do was hair and makeup. Ahliana had plans for her future that she wouldn't get a chance to embark on, because on the early mornings of April 13th, 2024, her life was taken in a place she should feel safe at, her home. Ahliana was involved in a relationship with 21-year-old Trevor Beatty. This was not an ideal relationship considering the age, but also because Trevor was abusive and controlling. Police received a 911 call from a neighbor who heard an altercation going on outside, and it was clear it was between a male and a female. The caller described hearing a woman say, "Get off of me, get away from me, I don't want to be with you," before hearing gunshots shortly after midnight. When police arrived to the scene, the individuals were nowhere to be found. Later that evening of April 13th, Ahliana was due to graduate from 8th grade with her family members in attendance. Her family seeing that she did not show up. Fearful, her dad made a phone call to her aunt to go check on her at home. Upon entering the home, located in the bedroom on the first floor, the aunt would make a gruesome discovery. Ahliana was on the floor with obvious trauma and appeared she was not alive. At about 6:10 p.m., police received the 911 call and arrived on scene. Ahliana was declared dead with multiple gunshot wounds. At this time, there was no for sure suspect, but Ahliana's family suspected her boyfriend Trevor.
Ahliana Dickey was shot multiple times in her Lowell home shortly after midnight Friday. Her body discovered after she did not show up for her middle school graduation that day.
She was going to surprise my son with a picture in the graduation, but that didn't happen. It was taken from her.
You see, a few days before this, family members noticed bruises on Ahliana. And just the day before, Ahliana had confided in a friend that Trevor was physically and emotionally abusing her, leaving her with bruises and a cut lip. Trevor had recently threatened to kill her grandmother, shoot up her home, and kidnap her. Police pulled surveillance from a nearby establishment that caught a man that police now suspect as Trevor arriving in an Uber, entering the door that leads to Ahliana's home, and coming out the home. Surveillance also caught the altercation that was described by the 911 caller from the early morning of the 13th. After police spoke to the Uber driver that dropped Trevor off at Ahliana's home and also picked him back up after the shooting, he had an unusual behavior. Trevor was sweating and running from the direction of the police. He used his sweatshirt to open the door, and once in the vehicle, Trevor allegedly made comments that he was set up and that he didn't fire a gun. The Uber driver dropped him off at Nashua, New Hampshire, where his current girlfriend is living. Once Trevor exited the vehicle, he told the driver to wipe down the inside of the vehicle. A Lowell detective made contact with Trevor over the phone Saturday evening on April 14th, and Trevor claimed he has not been in Lowell in 2 weeks. It has been revealed that after the shooting, Trevor and his girlfriend paid for 3 nights at a Motel 6 in Tewksbury on Friday evening of April 13th. After he learned that police were looking for him, he left the motel and went to a residence in Peabody. The police were able to track Trevor down to this residence where the occupants denied he was there. But police seen Trevor exiting the building through the back windows and was immediately apprehended. He is charged with murder, armed home invasion, unlawful possession of a firearm, unlawful possession of ammunition, use of a firearm while committing a felony, and discharging a firearm within 50 feet of a building. He is currently held with no bond, and on his behalf by his attorney has entered a not guilty plea.
Teenager in Lowell is being held without bail right now. Police say he broke into her home and shot her multiple times.
Trevor Batty is before the court charged with murder.
21-year-old Trevor Beatty arraigned in Lowell District Court charged with first-degree murder for the shooting death of Ahliana Dickey, a 15-year-old girl who was graduating from the 8th grade.
On his arraignment, the courtroom was filled with Ahliana's family and friends. Trevor could barely be seen as it was obvious he was trying to hide, either from fear or shame, and or maybe both. Who really knows? But this understandably upset Ahliana's loved ones. It was revealed in court that the altercation between Ahliana and Trevor, which ended in her life being taken, started Thursday night into early Friday morning. With the gruesome details on how Ahliana suffered was heard by Ahliana's loved ones, and it was understandably upsetting. Ahliana endured multiple shots and wounds to her neck and torso. District Attorney Christopher Tarrant said that prosecutors will be seeking first-degree murder conviction.
That Ahliana had suffered numerous gunshot wounds, including gunshot wounds to her neck and torso.
Police say witnesses told them Ahliana had confided that Beatty was hitting her, giving her a bloody lip and bruises. One witness talked of threats.
Ahliana confided in one person that this defendant made statements such as, "I'm going to kill you, I'm going to kill your grandma."
At around midnight, Thursday into Friday, police say neighbors heard a male and female arguing. The female allegedly screaming, "Get away from me. I don't want to be with you anymore."
Prosecutors say they have some disturbing video evidence recorded that night. At one point, just before midnight, they say you can hear the sound of a female screaming for help, followed 10 minutes later by the sound of gunfire. Finally, they say you see a suspect, a man, running out this front door and then down the sidewalk.
Authorities allege Beatty took an Uber to Nashua, New Hampshire, and was arrested later in Peabody. Outside court, Ahliana's family furious.
That man, he's no good. He's a coward, and I hope he gets everything he deserves. And we're mourning and we're hurting.
This case is still developing. Ahliana's beautiful life ended just 3 weeks ago, and it is still fresh, but something that will stay with her loved ones forever. Her life was cut short for what? Pride? Dominance? No matter Trevor's reasoning, it will never be understood or explained enough to make anyone believe Ahliana deserved this. Her life mattered. To Ahliana's loved ones, I pray you comfort through this troubling time. Although it will not bring Ahliana back, hold on to the faith that justice will be served. Rest in peace, Ahliana, and may you never be forgotten. We're not here to judge, so with that being said, let me know what you think about this case, and please leave your comments down below. In the meantime, stay safe and see you next time.